Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today it's flip through time. I've finished them. Woohoo! I know I said I was going to come on and do some little bits on here with it, but you know what? I just wanted to get them finished because I just... this is the first thing I've put out since I've broken my ankle, so I wanted to just get in there, get them finished, get them ready to put in my Etsy store. So when you see this video, they'll be, both of them will be in my Etsy store for sale, and I would love it if you'd pop over, have a look in there. Still got heaps of what do you call it, doily printables in there if you're interested in any of them as well. And now what I've done with these, they're very similar inside, so I think we'll just do one and show one and leave it at that, because yeah, they're very, very similar inside. Alright, so the outside is, this was, if you're new here, this was a pillowcase that I got from the op shop. This here, the backing of these, what makes up the cover, I cut it in half to make 2 junk journals. So my aim was to, you know, make something beautiful from the op shop. So what I've done to the spine, I've put on this beautiful what tealy coloured lace. I've left the back plain because when I got the pillowcases, they had this embroidery on little bits of it, and that's what inspired me to actually do this. So we've got the tealy lace on it, that's on both of them. Okay, they look very similar on the outside, except this one's got a wheel, a ship wheel, and this one's got a starfish motif on there. But they've got very similar things, little jar, little shell, another little shell, you know, the seahorses and little bits and pieces and beading and all that sort of stuff. They look very, very similar. But I'll have good close-up pictures too in the Etsy store that you can look at. And they look a little bit different on the fabric on either one as well. Alright, so we'll just go through one. Now the closure is 2 ribbons, and that goes through the actual cover, so it's pretty in there, pretty secure. Now the measurements of this, I've got it written down in front of me. Where is it? The measurements are 17 by 20 or 7 inches by 8, like this here. It's a 3 inch, is it 3.5 centimeter spine or 2 inch spine, and it's a hard spine. So I've got it's a bit of a hybrid. I've got a hard spine in here and soft cover. Okay, so we've got a bit of both in there with the ribbon enclosures. Each one has approximately 116 pages with 2 signatures. So, and the 116 pages on that, I'm just counting 1 page as I go, like 1, 2, 3. So it's more if you count front and back. All right. What else did I have to say? Yeah, so it's a soft cover. All of this has been, nearly the bulk of all this has been recycled stuff from the op shop, except the odd, you know, sequins and beads. On the inside, there's 2 signatures, like I said. There's no printables in here, so it's all vintage books and book pages and paper. The only one I bought in here is some scrapbook paper. So it's all recycled in here as well, to the best that I could do. And we'll open this up. Okay, on the inside, I'll just put this one over here. On the inside, we've got just some little cards in my pocket with my piece of netting, and we've got the little, oops, it's come undone, bulb pin. There you go. Okay, we've got a little charm on there that says, may you always have a shell in your pocket and sand between your toes. And that's the inside. Alright, and then we start on the pages. Isn't that beautiful? That some of these stamps Nat gave me, and shell stamps. And I've just done little collages here and there and pockets and things. So this was some of the scrapbook paper. You'll see that a little bit throughout the junk journal, but otherwise it's all book pages, vintage book pages. And you've got a pocket here. And I've used like little illustrations as journal cards, some stamping. Book pages, ledger paper. There's a seagull. Just stuck him in. Tea-dyed paper, and then I've got this stamp. This stamp features throughout the junk journal. Ledger paper. There's a picture of an old ship. More ledger paper in a different colour. Book page. And then there's a little tag in here. Butcher paper. These are gorgeous. These are illustrations out of a vintage ocean book, and absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Here's a little field guide of seashells. That's a stamp that I own. And then in each one you get a card like that. Greeting card. Over this side there's a little shell picture you could use as a journal card. And there's a little book that I made just with the scrap paper. And this here is a shell. Of course it's a shell. It's a shell stamp that I carved quite a while ago. And I thought, well, I'll add one of these in here and someone can colour it in and put it on a card or do whatever they want with it. And I stuck that on just as a bit of a collage. This was in an old book about waves. This is a piece of wallpaper, music paper, grid paper, and these are like when I cut these scrapbook papers, there was some left over, you know, that you cut off it. So what I've done is just put it over some of the pages as a little flip, and put a shell on it, and just, you know, you can write in there. This was an old book about a seahorse. And we've got matte paper. That's just a little envelope flip. You can put something in there. Matte paper over here. Ledger paper. Wallpaper. Vintage book. Got some more scrapbook paper, but these are all shells cut out of a book. A vintage book that I've stuck in here. Another vintage picture book that I've just turned into a pocket. This came out of a really old book. Oh gosh, I think it was in the 30s or 40s. These are some women having fun. Rhythm on the seashore. The beach. Old map book. Some doily. This thing here came out of a bicentennial book. Old writing paper. You can see how old it is with all the colour all around here. I've got a specific op shop that I go to that sells all these really old writing books. So yeah, we've got some more manuscript pad paper. Now the center of the first signature has got this beautiful picture in it, and it came out of an old Sea Life book. I had two of them, and I ended up using, I used nearly all of the smaller one, and this is the bigger one in the same book. And I'm just going to show you the picture as a bigger one. Absolutely gorgeous old pictures in here. If I can get to it. Isn't that stunning? Absolutely stunning. So I've used the smaller one. It's the Life Nature Library, and it's called The Sea. So if you see this in the op shops, grab it because there's some gorgeous pictures in there. There's more than what I just showed you in there that you can use. So that was one of them, and I decided to make them as a little feature middle section because they're so beautiful. Now on the strings, I've put a little coin, like a little money coin you'd find in a treasure chest. So they've both got little coins on them, same with the other one. So we've got manuscript paper, writing paper, and the bicentennial paper, and here was more of that those beautiful pictures. There's a journal card. Look at it, isn't it stunning? Absolutely stunning. So I haven't put anything on the backs of the journal cards. I've used one of these. This was a bigger picture, and I've cut it down to make a beautiful belly band in there. Just wanted to feature some of those really old pictures. They're just beautiful. This came out of that book as well, the Sea book. And then we've got shells stuck on things and the stamps. Wallpaper, more of that paper out of it was out of one of those books, like a ledger book, but it just had numbers on it. Old map page, and this was the book about the little seahorse. Yeah, we've got grid paper, manuscript, and some of this wallpaper frieze. And this came out of that Sea Life book too, you know, and so I've made things into pockets and little tucks and things. This is a stamp that I have. Just made that into a little journal card. Another beautiful shell on there. There's some butcher paper. Beautiful pictures out of books, old vintage books. And more pictures that I've just turned into journal cards or cut out. And whoever gets this can add to the collage. You know, you can add to the collage on things, or I haven't heavily decorated it, so you could go in there, you could get a stencil out, you could stencil, you could add words, you can add more to the collage on things. So yeah, I've just only lightly, excuse me, there's an old book page, only lightly decorated. Tea paper, and I've tried to do it fairly tastefully so that, you know, you could pick it up, whoever wants to own it can pick it up and keep going with it. So there's a little pocket, that's an envelope pocket. And there's two, like you can put it at the back or you can put it in the envelope. My old shell pictures, put them around here, and that's the middle of the oh my god. Oh, I need to go back to bed. Middle of the junk journal. Okay, so that's one of the signatures. Oh, you definitely need to go back to bed this morning. I got up and made some pikelets, and we had that for breakfast. And oh, and I need to say too that we took Pickle to the vet. He does not have kennel cough, thank goodness. He must have just got something stuck down his throat while he was in bed all night. Probably a big piece of fluff. Because at the end, he wouldn't cough while he was at the vet, and then at the end of the day, he was fine. So, but it was good because he was due to have all his injections and everything, and so they gave him a checkup while they were there, and they said he was just, the only thing that they could see was he was too fat. and so Dave said, well, I've got my wife at home with a broken leg, so that would account for him being a little bit overweight. Because I haven't been able to take him for his walks. Usually I take him for a walk in the morning, and Dave takes him for a walk in the afternoon. So he hasn't had half his exercise. Yeah, so he's 8.6 kilos, and he should be only 8. So he's a big doggo. We didn't expect him to grow that fat, but he's all muscle. Oh, he's all muscle. Loves to run. All right, back to this book. Oh, and I had my appointment to get it all out. I had my appointment at the fracture clinic. The bone is mending very, very well, and they said I can start putting some weight on it with crutches, and then I've made an appointment for another 6 weeks time, where he said I would expect you to be walking fairly well with the crutches by the end of that. So yeah, I've had a few goes on the crutches, and that's not fun. He said get into some painkillers while you're trying to get going on the crutches, and yeah. But look, the worst of the 6 weeks, first 6 weeks are behind me, thank goodness. And it can only get easier from here. So I appreciate all your prayers and well wishes. Still got a little way to go, but I'm heading there. Alright, second signature. More of these beautiful shells, vintage shells out of books, old books. And this is a part of the beautiful scrapbook paper that I wanted to include in here. These pockets are all is that coming up? These pockets are all from an old dictionary that I have gleaned as my backing paper. For the pockets, I just glued 2 pages together and then collaged some pictures on it. And gone from there. I just wanted it to be very, almost clean, you know, not clean, but you know, the only inking that I've done is just little bits of this tealy colour, this oceany colour. And that's another picture of bits and pieces in the ocean. And I've included some of these big journal cards as well. The squid is tea-dyed paper, which I put a shell placemat on when I dried it, which came out interesting. More paper that I've stamped on. Beautiful little stamp, that. There's another one of these just flip over pieces of paper with a shell stuck on it that you can write on. More of the ledger paper, old book paper. grid paper, matte paper. That's that book about the little seahorse. Here he is again there. And some Tito paper. Beautiful vintage photographs in there. This one's got a little tag in it. It goes that way. And I've put where the openings are, I've just put some of this, you know, colour on so you can see. This is one of my stamps that I've got. Comes up really pretty. So I was just having a play with those last night. And put one in each book. And it's just on with a paper clip. And there's another little tuck spot here. This stamp of some of the shells that I have, and a photograph out of an old book. And that's just put in by like a piece of old map paper in a book, and you know the the dictionary paper and an old shell from a picture. So it's just side. Get me a word straight today. It's just a corner tuck. Let's get it right. Another little just pocket in the bottom with a journal card. Beautiful picture from a book. It's just all journaling. Space. There's so much room in here to journal. Heaps of room to journal. Pocket. Paper bag pocket with a little, all those little books in it that I've made. Yeah, there's oodles of space to journal. And you know, if you run out of space, you could gesso over something like that. You could put a piece of tracing paper over it, so you can still see the earth here, and then write on top of it. You could write on it with black. Black would come out. You can write on it with a white gel pen. That would look pretty too. So there's a little envelope flip. And you know, those black pages, you could write on it with a white gel pen. More shell books. Butcher paper. Some of that freeze. Wallpaper freeze. And I've just turned it into a little pocket there. And that's a book page. Vintage book picture. I think it came out of that Sea book. Beautiful freeze, wallpaper freeze with shells on it. Paper, book page, and here's the second signature center, and it's got another one of those beautiful illustrations out of the vintage book, the Sea Life Nature Library, that one. Excuse me. So it's this one, but it was a smaller version of it. So I used the smaller version because this book was smaller. And yeah, I've got a second copy of it. So in the middle, I've just got the little coins on the string, the little treasure chest coins, and then we've got paper from that book, that Sea Life book, more writing paper, and beautiful illustration here of a, what is it called? A hat pin sea urchin. I've found one of these whole once up on the mid-north coast. Okay, we've got a pocket here with that beautiful wallpaper freeze, some butcher's paper, shell book, old shell book, and we've got the ledger paper, the map book. But the map book came out of the sea book, so it's all pictures of the ocean floor, I'm pretty sure. That's, yeah, like it says, how deep things are and all that sort of stuff. So, paper bag. I don't think there's anything in that pocket. Ledger paper. We've got another picture here of this beautiful microbes or whatever is in the ocean. And look at this stunning picture. Isn't that gorgeous? It's of a whale trying to eat a squid. Absolutely gorgeous. So that was that journal card. And then we've got, oh, I didn't put a shell picture on here. I'll have to grab one out and stick one on there before I close it up. Let's do it now. I've got my book of all my pictures. Here's the shell one. Right, and we've got some tracing paper. See what I mean about the tracing paper? It just mutes down the colour. You could put it over anything, and then right on top of that, here's a picture of the ocean floor, and I just made it into a pocket. And it's got, there's some of my stamps. Just turned it into a journal card. Beautiful book page pictures. Another one up here. I've just got little journal cards and pictures from an old book of the whales. Tea dyed paper. There's another one of these papers that are just over the page journaling. That's a page out of that little seahorse book. Map paper. Grid paper, old book paper. So all these grid papers, ledger papers, they're all bought from the op shop. So you can see all the yucky colour, you know, all the yeah, yucky colour, but the discoloration, which saves your colour in the edge of it anyway. Tea dyed paper, and that's my last pocket. I've put in a game card that Nat gave me in that pocket, and there's a journaling card and a playing card with the world on it, and a seagull in the back, and that is the junk journal. So yeah, the second one is the same, but just different, slightly different pictures, or where I've placed them, that type of thing, slightly different. No major differences. So I think if you bought Easy, you'd be happy with them. I think I'll open the second one up because, you know, in the front I've got a similar card, just different colour, similar picture, but this one's not a whale, it's a turtle and stuff like that. So and they're all very similar sort of things that I've put in there. And yeah, you can see it's all very similar. Similar, but it's the same. This old picture has got some people at the beach. Big seagull in there. That's the middle picture in that one. Gorgeous. Got a big picture of horseshoe crab. And that's the another gorgeous picture. Look at that. Aren't they stunning? So you got some real art, you know, old vintage illustrations in here, and artwork of whatever people have contributed to their illustrations to books. There's a big whale in the back. I'm going to show you out here. Oh, the middle of this signature. It's that one. So each journal has got a fishy sort of middle and a shell crustacean on the bottom picture. Yeah. So that's why I tried to make them very similar like that, so that you'd be happy with either one if you wanted one. Oops. And I really surprised myself this time because I didn't overstuff them. Look at them. I didn't overstuff it. There's still plenty of room in there for you to add your own ephemera, for you to add your own cards, envelopes, bits and pieces. So yeah, there's still plenty of room, because I would, you know, if I had it I'd be happy if it was out to there. So you still got plenty of room to stuff things in. I like a full journal. You can see from my last one with all the wildflowers, it was stuffed full. I couldn't even hardly shut it. But that was just my own keepsake. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed that flip through of my 2 junk journals that have been made out of pillowcases. I'll show you a close up of the little coins. I thought they would be a cute little addition. I didn't put any dangles on. I just wanted it nice and clean cut, because all the collaging's on the front here, and if I put things all down here, I think it would have just overcrowded it and overdid it. So I wanted to make these the focal point on the outside with nothing else, like clean cut, and that's why I sort of just left it clean on the spine here. So yeah, just remember it's a hard spine with soft cover, and it will be available in my Etsy store. You can also pop over to my Instagram, see it there, and yeah, so I don't know what else to say. Oh, I'll show you the little frog I made. Isn't he cute? It's just some felt stitching. You can sit him up like that. And I've just used some of my sequins and beads that I've been collecting and getting together, and yeah, just sat and had a little fun day sewing him up. He's so cute. He's so cute. Sit there, little froggy. Alright, so if you're new here, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Press that bell button to get notifications, like, share. Yeah, tell a friend if you like what you've seen here, and your friend might like to buy one, or you might like to buy one. Pop over to my Instagram account. All the links are below, and check it out there. There'll be photos up there, close-ups and things like that, because I wanted to take some close-up pictures of how all this sort of looks, you know, just so people can get a good look of what's on it. Yeah, so that's what I've got to... Well, when you see this video, it will be in my Etsy store. But what I have to do now is go and take photos of everything. Alright, I'm just so glad I've been able to just... I haven't pushed myself. I've just done it bit by bit. But I can sit up for a lot longer now with my foot. Doctor said it will, now I'm walking on it a little, he said it will go back to swelling and unswelling a little bit. But yeah, all the x-rays looking good. I said, oh, will I have the hardware taken out? And he said no. Oh, and I was a little bit disappointed. He said it'll stay there. He said if it annoys you or something happens, they will remove it, but other than that they don't. So yeah, there's some good screws in there. Good bits of metal. um but we're on the upside. All right. I'm just glad I've been able to actually work on something while I've been unwell. And I'm really, really keen to get into Stephanie's pile of goodies she gave me. Got a few ideas in that too. All right. I'll see you for a new video. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for your well wishes. And I'll see you real soon. Bye.